MC Grabber. Yo. 1 2 1 2 check done now. Hey, intro them because I've got to deal with this big head. And that.
Welcome, episode 13. Gosh.
13, you know. What does 13 mean?
Don't know, ain't it? Like some stuffy business.
I don't want to check it. 13.
Like,
We didn't check it before. We meant to check it. Put in the comments what 13.
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, but we don't have to do it now. It's not a big thing.
Weekend.
Not a big thing. Yeah, 13. That's a the 13 doesn't sound like a good number, like the 12 and 11 and all that kind of thing. But either way,
you make it while you make it.
All right, go on then.
Blessed
Guess
and highly favoured.
That's fake.
New beginnings, transition, open doors,
Oh.
greatness, elevation, growth.
It's not. Hey, where are we though? We're not even at the normal settings, like where people think that it is. In a secret location.
Studio 101.
We're running away from the children. It was a bit of a mad thing. This one is on moving. This Grabber, MC Grabber.
Yeah.
It's on a madders.
All the children except one.
Yeah, we had to take her with us because she's just like that, innit?
I swear peanuts are making me feel a bit,
What do you mean?
giving me this cough.
Well, don't eat them then. Why would you eat them then?
Because I've never had an allergy to peanuts.
Well, don't eat them then. Don't eat them. Yeah, we're just here having a weekend break and that. We thought we were. Alright, so we put out a message to the massive and the people that. So we thank you for one. So we thank the haters, big up the haters and that. Big up yourself now, 565 Brockwide for tuning in and that. And hold tight all the people that have been supporting. The love has been real. We've been loving it. Chantel's birthday week, so that was crazy. She's just got back to the messages. So the people that have messaged her and she hadn't responded, she will get back to you. I think she's plus, but no, you got back to everybody now, yeah? You said everybody.
Yeah.
So how was your birthday? Anyway?
Just simple.
You're gonna talk into the microphone. You don't have to kiss it up though.
That's how I feel
The
like.
lips and that. Yeah, go on.
But yeah, no, it was simple. It was just nice. It was, got my hair done. Got a little massage and ting. You booked a nice restaurant. That food was lovely. Very nice.
I think the service was very good as well, and the people.
Without a doubt. Yeah. The whole everything, the whole ambience.
Can we big it up? Should we put it up? Might as well put it out there, innit? Yeah, go on.
Sion, London.
Yeah.
London. Right by West Dulwich train station.
They had jollof rice, which I didn't try for once. I'm not on the jollof rice thing. But they had jollof rice on the menu. What is it? It's a mix between African and high cuisine.
What?
Is it cuisine? That traditional
It's just Western mix. So it's not an African restaurant, but
they've got jollof on there.
Yeah,
Like, who does that?
but it's more
Relax
toned
yourself.
down jollof. Yeah.
Okay, do you want to talk to the mic or something?
See, I like jollof rice.
I didn't even try it, but she said that one specifically was commercial ones, not the proper Niger or the Ghanaian one where they have arguments about which one do you think is the best one, Niger or Ghanaian? Jollof.
I'm gonna have to say Nigerian.
Is it?
But apparently it's originally Ghanaian. But I don't know.
Yeah, put that in the
what I've
comments,
been told.
people. Put that in the comments. Jollof or for? I never tried it. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know how. It's just rice. What do you think?
No, it's not just rice. No, it's not just rice. People eat that just alone.
Yes, because it's filling.
Yeah, because there's other things mixed in it.
Not really. It's just
I
veg.
stick with my egg fried rice and rice and peas. That's it.
So you're Chinese.
No, egg fried rice. That's my
Egg fried rice.
Egg fried rice. Bit 1 minute. You get me? That's
Susie Wong.
No,
birthday was nice. And then obviously we had the Friday fizz.
Yeah, that was good. Hold tight the people that
Good
supported.
vibes.
Then, yeah, man, we're just trying to make it. We've got another one on November the 25th.
Yeah, last one, peep. So
that's
all
just
those
before
that have messaged me to say, I wish I'd made it. Oh, this, that, and the other. Well, you've been pre-warned. 25th of November.
And you got some new lines coming as well.
Of course, ready for Christmas.
Woo! So that's the Christmas one. So we're gonna have to promote it. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, it'll be Christmas special.
That's cool. Yeah, hold tight the people that have commented on the family one that we done recently. That was beautiful. Also the ex-policeman, the blended family. We're gonna do a part 2 on that. Today we're literally just people have come with various topics, and we're just gonna try and answer them to our best of our ability. Hold tight the people that are watching our dilemma. They're coming every week. We're gonna do the dilemmas. But this one's more like topic based, isn't it? Like I'm just gonna try. We're not gonna try. If it means us actually doing a whole show on it, we'll do one. But at the moment, we're just gonna try and
sound bites.
Yeah, we're gonna try and do what we can. So I've. You wanna read it out? Exactly, or not? All right. Let's just go. I'm just gonna go from the top, like waggle, and then why are women okay or settling for being the side piece?
Why are women okay with being a side piece? Settling for being a side piece?
Yeah.
Well,
why are people okay? Why are women okay or settling with being the side piece?
Okay. So I've got peanuts in my teeth. But first and foremost, not every woman is okay with that. And the ones that say they are okay with it, it's just a facade. It's a pretense, I believe, because we're not built like that. We're not made like that. I don't think any woman grew up as a young child thinking to themselves, when I'm older, I want to be some man's little...
But there's many things that we grow up and we don't think it goes the way it goes. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So same way like we were talking about the family situation, we were saying, I'm used to the 2-point, you get me, nuclear family, but now I'm a blended family. I would have never grown up and said I want. You get what I'm saying?
No, you're not going to grow up saying that you want to.
Change, innit, based on where it is.
Circumstance might change, but you know that God didn't create you for you to be someone's little spare time. Whenever I've got a time, don't call me after a certain time. And then
there's stats where there's more females to men.
Okay, so
so you have to kind of just
share.
It might be that. There is more females. We do know.
Not in this country.
Is it this country? I think
in
the
some
world.
of the West Indian, Caribbean countries, fair enough. Like I know a lot of them share men.
Okay.
Like a standard because there's not enough men.
Not enough men, but I think in the UK it's the same as well. It must be.
No.
We have to check the stats on that. That's a bit.
Well, I don't know about that. All I do know is self-worth and value, and I hear a lot of these women carrying on like it's a state of like. It's like a claim of something, like some trophy.
What?
Like,
no way they do that like a trophy. Yeah. I think it's more that they're settling in it. They're thinking that's
settling,
the best they can get at this moment. So they're just gonna for this time. You know what I mean? It's not. He's married. He's married in that. So it's a minor.
Queens don't.
Ooh, tell them already, my God. Tell them again. Tell them already, my God.
You're someone's little secret little sideline. Like, and just because you think that you're getting good stuff, like because you're getting the, you know what I mean, under the sheets you might get the little hotel breaks or the little gifts,
just about, if you're lucky,
and all the rest of it, but you know that he's going home to his missus and family.
Whoa.
Like who really is settling? I think you're just lying to yourself. You're lying. You've just put up a mask basically saying this is like basically as though the man's not using you, you're using the man. Well, I'm sorry to break it.
Because they try and drop the one where they will try and drop the one where there's no feelings attached in it. Like, nah, I don't really feel for him like that and that. But the feelings grow. No matter what way, feelings grow.
And the fact that you're being
things
intimate,
can happen. Yeah, things can happen as well. Then you end up. I know people that have got like, I don't like to use the word BE child.
Oh, love child.
Yeah,
that's a better word.
Alright, love child, and like they live around a corner from the yard, like, and then the things get out of hand.
Yeah, of course.
You don't want to be in them circumstances, like so. It's very.
Look, I know a friend of a friend. Yeah, she had an affair, had a child. The child's disabled to whatever capacity, and the guy literally flings her money every month. So she's rolling because he's flinging her money every month as hush money as well as guilt. You know what I mean? I'm not saying anything, you know what I mean?
But the child's disabled as well.
Yeah, the child's disabled as well, so it's even extra work for her. And to know that you're doing that by yourself. Like, you're doing that by yourself while he's living his whatever happily ever after over yonder.
Well, alright, if they're in that circle, if a woman's just properly, there's some women that that's all I can get. It's the best I can get. Boom, boom, boom. What would you say to them type of women?
That's a lie from hell. The devil is a liar. Like, if you want more, there's more. If you want better, there's better. Don't like this impatient thing. Like I have to just take whatever I can get while I can get it. Like there's a clock ticking or something.
But the clock is ticking. Sometimes the clock is ticking.
For what?
Or it does tick to a certain point where the women. Or what do you think's caused it to make them become like that? Like that kind
experiences,
of
like frustration. You know what I mean? They might have been cheated on. They might have not seen any healthy relationships growing up, whether in their family or in their friendship groups or what have you. But I know that as a woman, when you see another woman in a family environment, happy, healthy, loving family environment, that you would not rather that than what you're actually getting. Like, I don't know any woman, oh no, I like my own space, or no, I don't like the headache of having a relationship, so, you know, this suits
just
me
made up,
just
mate.
fine.
It's just made up.
I think so. There'll be women that will be like, no, yeah, this is just right for me. I get my bills paid. I don't have the headache of domestic life. The other woman can deal with all of that stuff. I get the good stuff, and yeah. Let's see how long that lasts.
It doesn't like it.
It don't. Reality is it only lasts for so long. Then real reality will kick in.
That's mad. Yeah, we'll have to probably get a debate. Hopefully, if there's any side chicks out there that want to come on and talk about it, you get me? You know, they might just defend it. They might be saying, nah, you know what? I wear my thing with pride, innit?
I'm sure there are plenty.
This is another question that came up. Sorry, I didn't get the names of the people. Apologies. So, hopefully them. Do men really like independent women? Do men? Let me read that right. Do men really like independent? What is it? Independent? That's the next thing. What is this independent?
Can't you just be a woman?
No, but
can't you just be a woman?
All right. So what does that look like then?
That you could.
We watched that documentary, that other documentary the other day.
What is a woman?
If anyone ain't watched it, watch it. It's
but this whole independent woman, as though to say you have to add independent to separate.
Well, are you an independent woman? Would you say you're an independent woman, despite me being in a relationship?
No, but that's what it's relevant. That is what it's relating to, though, isn't it? But
were you an independent woman?
Well, I was independent because I was a woman dealing with my stuff. Getting stuff dealt with. Like, man or no man, innit? I still got stuff to do and crack on with. Yeah. I'm not gonna. There's some things that I will rely on you for. There's some things that I will need you for, and there's some things that I will want you for. But ultimately, I still have a role and responsibility and part to play.
100%. I think, you know what it is? I think what men them struggle with, or what we struggle with as people, that, and I just use the simplest, you know, I like to use my little formulas and simplest forms, but it's football pitch. If you're going on a football pitch, you got to go and train individually and bring what you can independently. Do what you need to do health wise, whatever you need to do. Look after your thing.
Yeah.
When you get on the pitch, you become a team, innit? And that whatever you've done, training, whatever you might have bought, whatever you're bringing to the table, you go and get it for which because you know if we're gonna win together. We have to do certain things. Yeah, we all
bring something different.
So
to
we
the
have
table.
to, no matter what way it is, a man and woman have to bring, or you know, whatever, you know. You know.
Because the whole thing of being like, so basically, what's the opposite of being independent? Dependent, like you're dependent on someone.
Okay.
So basically, I'm dependent on someone to pay my bills. I'm dependent on someone to cook dinner. I'm dependent on someone to run home.
So
Like, but I just think like, as a woman, crack on.
But then we got the other aspect where, and enough men suffering. With me and men, have a conversation all the time about it in terms of man will meet a woman that's been independent for a strong period of time. Sometimes
she'll struggle. Strong.
So certain thing, like I say, Shan to date still. I'll be honest, she still struggles with that because of obviously I come with my ways, my bossful ways, or whatever I come with. And then she's got her ways, and that's gonna clash because naturally, you got it up anyway. Like that's your independence is there, and it's for you to kind of like say, can I trust this brother like with this and trust this brother with that. Us as the men is to improve that we can actually do that. Not even prove. Sometimes we just gotta do without looking for that kind of like gratification. Like, oh, well done for that. You just gotta do it, innit? Like, don't be looking. Sometimes we do because we want that kind of like, oh my gosh, I did that for you, innit? Nah, just do it, innit?
And it's a continual thing. Like I can remember like early days, I would observe you doing certain things, and like within myself, it would be refreshing. It would be like it was very attractive to me. I was like, rah, like you were ticking boxes without realizing you were ticking them. You were just doing what I guess came natural to you.
It's not even natural. I you know what it is, and I tell people like it's mad. When you're in a partnership or you're doing something together, I'm not even talking about just in general life, especially with just business or anything, but especially in relationships. When you're in relationships, there's only so much you can see. So if we're back to back, you will see certain things, I will see certain things. Not everything I can cover, not everything you can cover. So when you're, and this is why I don't get man them that are not man them, but couples that are people that ain't working together to the best of the children, because she can't do everything, brother. Like she can't sit there and see everything. You get me? As much as she feels she can, she can't. And it's not. I will go in and look at things and think, wow, Shine's missing there. Certain things are missing there. Certain things are missing there. Sometimes it can be a clash. Sometimes it can be you can. I'll just get on with it. But at the same time, we're back to back with it. So if we're in a fight, we go back to back. Because I can see, wow, I've got you. You know what I'm saying? So I think what many people keep doing, I don't know why.
They got their guards up.
Yeah, the guard can stay up, but I get it. No, but it's for man them to break that down slowly, and for the woman to break that down, because man them are going to be also independent
but also
as well.
For a man, if you're going to be breaking down those barriers, don't be doing it to waste her time down the line. Don't be doing it to destroy her hope and faith in another man.
I get that, but then that's the risk you take, isn't it?
Of course,
you've got to take that
you
risk.
Have to be vulnerable.
Yeah, you can't just not, because you don't know what's going to happen in the
you have
future.
to
Do you get what I'm saying? Because you could break it, you could do that, you could break it down. Next minute he passes. Do you get what I'm saying? No. But I hear what you're saying. I know that's the dramatic element.
Yeah, but then she ain't gonna think to herself, "Oh, I did all of that, and where is he now?"
Still, you still do it because you know you become you still become dependent. You know, like you start to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like these things. Look, that's a bit.
I don't want to look. I've done things by myself for a long time. Even being in certain relationships, still doing stuff by myself for a long time, and I had to make up my mind that no, there's no point in me being in a relationship if I still feel like I'm doing it all by myself. Like simple as. It's either I'm by myself and I'm just cracking on, being resourceful, being the woman that I'm built to be and getting ish done, or if I'm going to be in a relationship, then I have to trust myself in the choice that I've made and who I've made, to allow myself to be vulnerable, to allow you to come into my space, to allow you to come in and to...
Because it's not just your space, it's the kids as well. It's the whole. It's a bigger aspect.
Of course, it's everything.
Yeah, that's why you can't
take. And it's just to trust that person that is in front of you. That when you do let those walls come down and you do allow yourself to be vulnerable, he's there to actually catch you, and he's there to actually.
Yeah, don't be like that. Don't disrespect mum like that.
Prove you right or wrong, whichever way
it goes.
It is. Yeah.
The question was, do men really like? Because the question was for me anyway.
Because some men do. Well, some men. I do know that some men do struggle with independent women because they find them a bit too assertive and a bit too. They're just getting on with it, and they feel like there's no space or room for them.
I honestly believe men have created that. And no disrespect, I think we as men, we've allowed that to happen. And what's happened, especially with our communities, because we've seen women that are struggling with children and family, and then we accuse them for becoming masculine and growing up the kids a certain way and blah blah blah. But we as men ain't saying, "Wow, what could we do?" I know we're stretched in our own worlds, but despite that, I blame us as men. And then when we can accuse them and say, "Why they be masculine? Why they know the big thing at the moment has come to light? Father's Day, women." Their own children are now praising them for, but I can get why it's got that way. Do you get me? Why a child will say, you know what,
everything's upside down.
You know what I'm saying? So, it's for us as men. I don't sit there to women and say, let down your guards now and let all men in. Like I say, man them need to step up. Like I told man them, certain man them will phone me. We had discussions where I've said to man them, we're in a predicament like where sometimes they feel like they're not getting anywhere with the relationship or getting anywhere with the argument or situation. I said, dig deeper. Like sometimes you have to bite the bullet, and yeah, you hear what she's saying.
You're gonna go through.
You have to dig deeper. That's why I say it's harder for when in relationship. I do believe, and I do say to man them, you know, it's harder for man them. I said we have to put. It's more for us to actually do. More pressures on us more. So we have to dig deeper in it. Yeah. Like when we're in a predicament where you feel that it's too stressful and that, and you can't do that. Dig deeper, because most of these women they're all riders. Like I tell man them, the girl's a rider, but it's just that you're going through a little predicament. Remember the good times, remember why she's still there, and dig deeper in it. And they're like, yeah, I get it, because they'll sit there and sometimes I think, even with me and you, it might be a situation, but I can know so many situations where I haven't had to say nothing and you ain't said nothing, and you know I've got issue or something's happened. You've dug deeper and I've had to dig deeper, but we ain't it's not been called out. We just done it. Certain times she's done some things I'm thinking, wow, nah, bro, she's a rider, and I don't have to worry about nothing too tough. Why am I worrying over little petty things? Because sometimes it's just petty, little stupid things that will come in our heads, and we're just like, ugh. But I know Shan's a rider in it. Like, I don't mean rider like going, yeah, fight. She'll go do the fight with me. But I'm saying like, she's got me in it, and I think many man them don't realize that their woman's got them. It's just that she just likes little. We just do it. I think our expectations are a bit. We put pressure on ourselves. We do. Men then put pressure on because we want the best for our women all the time. But at the moment, it's not. You know what I mean? Because we're not where we are. But I'm saying if you have them uncomfortable conversations, then you're more likely to have a better understanding and be real. Sometimes be real, like.
Well, that is it. Ultimately, be real. It's about being honest and just recognizing the space and place that you are in this time. But it's not forever. You know what I mean? Seasons change. And if the intentions are well, and there's, I guess, reciprocity, you know what I mean?
What's that?
Reciprocity.
What is that?
Reciprocation. Oh. So like, if I'm loving on you, or I'm like giving you a certain feeling. What, the second word or the first word? Reciprocity. Got a little list.
I've never heard that before.
Little Mike Tyson list.
Say it again to me.
Oh my goodness.
I need to try and pick it up, go on.
Reciprocity.
Yeah. That's it, right?
Yes.
Go on.
You really like taking a mick out.
I'm not using it again. I'm not using that word ever in my life. Reciprocity. Go on with the reciprocity self.
No.
You can't use it like that?
No.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I spell reciprocity, you know.
What?
No, you can't use that. No. Right.
What is reciprocity?
I don't know. I'm asking you. Reciprocated.
Yeah.
Say reciprocated. Like, what's this reciprocity? You've got too much chase. That's stupid, man. That's mad. Yeah, go on.
But you know what I mean? Like, so it, like, I don't want to be hard. I don't want, like, yes, there is a level of masculine energy, but I don't want that to override my feminine energy, my natural essence. You know what I mean? Like, I keep seeing on social media, especially like these young girls, soft girl season. It's soft girl season.
Where was that?
It's like a new hashtag, this soft girl.
What's
I'm in
that?
my soft girl era. Like,
what, during winter or something?
No, like just being pampered and looking after themselves and feeling good and just being at peace and calm and chilled out. And
you know what it is? That's can we go to this one then? Like, let me go to. I think let's go to this one. Technology, and the next question.
Yeah, technology.
Technology.
Oh, technology.
Technology and how it's changing our lives now and in the near future. So technology.
Yeah. Well,
and how is it changing our lives now and in the near future?
I believe babies are already born digital. They're already ready to go. Like,
yeah, this one definitely.
Like, yeah, you put a phone in front of her face, she's like,
just posing already.
Like and
so talking about that same soft thing,
girl,
like how powerful. I don't know this thing is how quick it's just gone around.
Look how quick a hashtag can go around. Like, it don't necessarily even have to be a famous person. It could just be a TikToker or someone that has influence or content creator or brings out a dance or I don't know, something, and then a hashtag will just spread like wildfire. Like, it's a lot easier in this day and age to become famous but you're talking about social media, all right? To become famous with social media and to make money via social media. Bear in mind, it only came out in our latter, you know what I mean, like phones and Facebook and what have
Yeah,
you.
we were protected for a little hot minute.
So we
grew
have
up
the
with
best
conkers
of
and that.
both worlds. Whereas the generation, let's say our children's generation and the generation to come, that's all they know.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's
only getting harder and harder. And
I'm tempted sometimes. I'm not gonna lie to like. That's why like you talk about the games night thing. I'm tempted just to have these games night where we just bring back some old school things, but we actually say like at this time no phone. Like we all you know what I mean?
Phones.
But it's really agitates when I just see them just. That's all they
like
know.
Stuck on the
because one, I don't know what they're looking at half the time. I'll be honest with you. We don't know what our children are taking in most of the time, and but it's their life now. It's their world now, innit? But I'm afraid if they took it away from them, like literally, if one of them lost their phone, I'm curious of what their mindset would be like.
They would go to the tablet.
No, I mean like just take it gone. What would happen? What kind of people they will be? But people are telling me I'm hearing all kind of things, conspiracy theories and all these kind of things where everything's going to be in one place, like no more cash, no more
but you can already see we're moving towards a cashless society, and
like beep you get me?
Yeah. Like I saw a sign at the chip shop the other day and it said like cash, basically to fight against it. Like cash is still a legal tender. You know what I mean? You go into certain stores. My friend went into a bakery and they said, "Oh, we don't take cash here. Only cash here. Yeah, we only take cards." She said she just walked out. She was like, "Forget this." But like, you can go in some supermarkets. Even Greg's tried it one time. I said, "Look, yeah, I have cash, and as far as I'm concerned, it's still got the Queen's head on. What have you? Like, I want my things in it. You know what I mean?" And they had no choice. But some are actually defiant with it because I think they said within the next 3 or so years, and obviously they're trying to stamp out people making money that they can't trace and have no control over, you know what I mean, whether it's legal or illegal.
They're saying like one card, there'd be like one card with your identification on it. This is just hearsay, identification on it with everything on it. Know how much money that's why the lockdown, they say in the lockdown that we had, the pandemic was literally a test for what they plan for the future, so that they can demolish most of the self-employment people that have whatever it is.
Because they've already seen how most jobs can be done from home, and that's because of technology and computers and what have you. So if you don't have a career that is around computer based,
so all the creative minds and all them kind of things just get what
it depends what level of creativity.
If you're a person that performs tours, if you're doing music and all that kind of thing,
it will be a bit of a struggle. But
comedy, all these kind of aspects.
Well, you do it like they did it in lockdown, right?
Yeah, but you don't make money. It's not the same. It's no way the same.
It's not the same. But they're trying
imagine
to
I can't do a wedding. I'm doing a wedding over Zoom. Like I don't really know. Like
I don't know how it's gonna look, but we can already see that steps are already put into action.
You know what it is, and I think this is where it's great. Yeah. I was in Screwfix the other day and I had a ringtone, and it was coming from my iPhone. So his brother answered it. I said, "Bro, that ringtone just brought back memories." He's like, "Nah, because that's what we need, the good days." And everybody in that store started talking about I think these good days can be brought back in so many different ways, and it's celebrated.
But it's fighting against the grain.
No, it ain't. I don't think it is, because people still like the old school. I think the old school is still coming back. I saw boot cuts and all them the other day. Like young people are wearing like baggies again and all these kind of things.
But fashion always comes back around.
So through fashion, I think things will.
No, because the young people laugh at some of the things from our time. Like they don't know about Walkmans and cassette tapes and winding them up. Like recording from a radio program and then trying to pause it for the adverts.
So the DJ not talking and
like,
the thing.
Constantly talking over your good tune. But like they ain't got a clue about so many things that. Is
that detriment to them or not? Because really and truly, I look at it, their grades should be flying.
Yeah.
They should be getting A's.
Yeah.
Based off what
is accessible to them.
So why is it that they're getting dumbed down? This is what I'm saying. I'm confused of it. How can you not be getting A stars and that with not the information?
If they're getting dumbed down, then it's to better leverage control. Yeah, because when someone doesn't really think and they're being told what to think, how to think, where to think, where, you know what I mean, then ultimately you can easily control that person. Like, you saw it in lockdown and when COVID was just rife and...
Yeah, because I was saying I was still working. They said, but next time, they know what to do next time with you. So much as I had
it was a compliance test.
Yeah, they're saying next time they're gonna come stronger at you. They're gonna aim. I said, no, I was still working. No, they're gonna come at you differently next time. I'm like, wow, is it like that? But I don't see technology. I see technology being a good thing, and I'm hoping that with this generation, our generation, we can help filter through a different type of traditions and ways of dealing with it. And if we're utilising it to a better way and telling our young people to start using it in a better way, it will work for them. Because I don't think they're using it in the right way. Sometimes I think that you're just there for the first thing you do. You're just preying. You can see them.
Oh yeah, watching nonsense and rubbish and what have you. But then there are some young people that are doing their thing.
Yeah, so and that's where we keep going wrong. I think sometimes we think that we go and listen. We think that they're just listening to this. No, and I think. Even with our children, the one thing that I save in grace sometimes, like especially with Nate, like the old school tune, she's still on the old. She still has a.
She goes back and
she
forth.
knows, so that holds her. That has a grip on them. And I think that's what's had a grip on us. Despite whatever's being played now, we still
have a level of hold and influence. Let's say. Over our children, but then there are a lot that are literally being influenced by someone that they idolize online.
And that's the powerful. So what you say? Technology is it good or bad? I'm not saying it's a good.
It's used, but I feel like the powers that be are going to manipulate and are
turn it up on us,
using technology against us in the long run.
Even with that guy buying the whole of Twitter and that.
Elon Musk?
Yeah.
Come on now. You think them people give a dicky birds? Like, we're just porn.
No, that's mad. Now, if I answer that question, this one's a good one. I don't know. This one probably needs its own. Actually, no. Let me go on this one. This one's a good one to go off what we just said. Having a dream for your child, but the path is very different from your expectations. So having a dream for your child, but their path is very different from your expectations. That's deep, innit? I think I've gone through exactly the same thing, but what
I can say, you may be like I know certain cultures, especially like African and Asian cultures, they have a child and they basically
I want to be a lawyer
or an accountant, you know what I mean, or a doctor, surgeon, some kind of profession like that. Me personally, I didn't when I had like all of the kids, like.
Let me put this one down. Keep talking.
Oh,
your head's just heavy, man.
I didn't say to myself, "You're going to be something in particular." I'm more, she ain't gonna sleep in there. It's too hard. Better you put on the bed. But yeah, I was more like, when the child starts to grow up and starts to show more of their character and more of their personality, then I can kind of try and nurture and guide them in that way, rather than me trying to play God, in essence, over what their destiny or future looks like. If it's a dream, as in you want your child to be successful, you want them to do great things, you want them to fly high in their education and then build a career or I think that's normal for most parents. But in a sense of, I dream that you, Tiana, are going to be a lawyer. You, Renee, are going to be a top TV personality. You, Sky, are going to be a how can you really dictate what your child is going to... I want them to be healthy human beings.
But what is, like we just spoke about technology, that's why I tied it in with technology. The powers that be have their agenda for our children. Yeah. So if we don't have some sort of agenda for our children, then it doesn't make any sense. So what I said I will do, especially when working with young people is that if I've done this whole thing of you can't take the horse to the. I'll make them drink it.
You can take a horse to walk.
Yeah,
you can't
I'll make them
it
drink it. I'll make them drink it. Like there's a thing where I just took it to an extreme. I was like, you know what? Why do we have to follow that saying that everybody keeps going with? I said, let me let them drink it. From when you let them drink it and you taste it, which I did with both my sons previously. I've done it both of them. They could give me 1 inch of something, and I'll just say I'll go a mile with it. So like, I want to do my own business, Dad. All right, cool. I went all out. To the point where they're like, I don't want to do that. Boom. And in the same way, anything they gave me an inch of, you want to be a journalist? Boom. Right, you do your own Black History Man. Like, you get me? Yeah. So what it was kind of me as the parent taking full control instead of the powers that be do that. Because it's that easy that social media can divert their minds or anything, or the powers that be can divert their minds. Even down to teachers can say the wrong thing and divert your whole mind. So me as a parent, I thought it would be ideal. So what happens over the years, you kind of had this impression of them. Like, oh, my son can be this. Oh, my son could be that. Or my daughter could. You have this impression, innit? Yeah. And then all of a sudden they go down this road where you're thinking, where are you going? I never thought you could be doing that. But God be my witness, that at the end of the day, it comes back tenfold. What you put in, you will get out later, but it won't be the way you feel it is, because times have changed now. So whatever my sons are doing now is totally different. No, it ain't totally different. It is, but it's evolved. So what they're doing now is evolved over time. Like things that I thought, you let that go. Now I'm seeing the older one do exactly what I know he would be doing, but he's doing it in a different way beyond what I could imagine. So don't feel that defeated when your child starts moving a different way or going away, because long as you've installed them first 7 years, you've put in as much as you can to that child or children, it will have an effect later on down the line. If that makes sense.
Look, the Bible says, train up a child in the way they shall go, and when they are old, they shall not depart far from it. So, in essence, you have to make sure that you plant those seeds and what have you. But it's not. The question was
having a dream.
Having a dream for your child. So.
But you look at not many times we've looked at our children, because they say by the age of 9 the child knows what they want to do. It's just down to society and what goes on, the support mechanism. It wasn't. I knew what I wanted to do at the age of 9. Mostly people do, but what it is, society plays with that and twists it.
I don't know about most people, because age of 9 is quite young.
It is young, but you make up your mind. You get an inkling. Most young-year-olds, they will say, I want to do. Whether it's so far-fetched, they might go, I want to be a princess. But they've established something based off what.
And what, they become a drug dealer?
No, I'm saying that what happens is that you get the ones now, teenagers, where that's the worst one. I don't like these ones. No disrespect to any teenager out there, but it's the one where I go, what do you want to do? I don't know. You know how disheartening it is. But you ask a 9-year-old. All right, but a 9-year-old's got full. They've seen so much. The telly's given them. They're fed with this. They're fed with that.
No, but they're excited about life.
Right, that's what it is. That's what you work off. Right. And that's where we get scared, because we look at our dreams and aspirations, and we say we don't want the same for our children. No. Hence why people would sit there and say they do this dreaming, want the best for their children and that, and they will input. You know what I mean?
But it's very generic, because I don't know any parent that doesn't want the best for their child or children. That doesn't. I don't know about dream, because I'm going to dream a specific dream. Okay, I dream that they are.
Maybe it's the vocabulary they've used.
But then now I dream that they're going to own multiple restaurants, but they're a janitor or a caretaker. I pray that my children are saved. Yeah, I pray that they find God truly and know God for themselves, not just through me. Obviously, I'm an instrument in that, but not just through my prayers, as in they have their own relationship with God. 100%. Because when they build on that and they strengthen that, then I've got no I'm at peace because I know that God will take them wherever He desires to take them, and He will protect them and order their steps. So Lord, you order their steps to whatever you decide or whatever you have planned and purpose for their life. Not for what. That's with relationship too. Sometimes women trying to change and mold and shape a man to fit into what they think he has to look like,
Tell them again.
and what have you. But you can't play God, man. Like, maybe it's God's will that he is a certain way, and if it doesn't fit you, then maybe that ain't the man for you. Like, I don't know.
What? Let's go on to that one then. That's good. Let's go on to this one then. I can't pronounce it. Alright, but I'm going to do it this way.
Reciprocity.
No, it's not the same thing, fam. Introvert and extrovert.
Introvert and extrovert.
Extrovert.
Okay.
But they use extravision. But it is in a dictionary. I did look at it. But it's so extrovert, extravision.
What does extravision mean?
It's the same kind of extrovert. I don't know.
You said you looked in the dictionary.
I did, but it's gone in it. So introvert and extrovert. So in a relationship. So how does it work?
One is more. So I'm in between
more
both.
Outgo. Okay, so you're.
So I love my own company. I'm at peace in my own company. I can jam with my own company and not feel no way. I do most things by myself. You know, and
I'm independent in that.
It's not independent. No. Well, I don't know. Some might see it as in I'm not dependent on having lots of people around me to make me feel good or make me feel like I'm happy. You know what I mean? Like I can genuinely be happy in my own space and my own environment. The extrovert side of me comes out because yes, I am a people person. Yeah, despite enjoying my own company, I am a people person. So when I'm around people, you know what I mean, I like to think, you know what I mean, that I'm personable, I'm welcoming, I'm open, I'm fun loving, I'm, you know, to put me in another environment, let's just say I don't know, a party, a celebratory environment, I'm down, like let's enjoy, you know, what have you.
But how does that? Alright, so because I'm both as well. So I can be in my own company and I'm an extrovert standard.
Yeah, but most people see you
as an extrovert. But because I work for myself, most of the time I'm on my own. So I leave out on my own. I go to work on my own. Most of the time
show
I'm doing
more
work.
of your introverted side at home as well.
Yeah, I can
especially
be
in the mornings.
Yeah, I can be in my zone. I'm straight. I'm straight gullies. Morning times. It's about that. Like, let's get there. Let's get ready. I'm in my thoughts. I'm in my feel. And I'm in myself. Like ready for the outside world, innit? But a person, because we can stray between the two, like we just said, a relationship where one is extrovert, introvert, can that work?
I don't know.
Have you ever been in a?
I'm not a psychologist like that.
No, have you been in a? I've been. My one. Yeah, my one was. My previous was introvert, and I was extrovert.
Okay.
It had its pros and cons, but it didn't. Yeah, you need when you're out and about and you're profiling and that. It doesn't. It's strong to match most of the time.
Yeah.
Especially if I've got a lot of energy. So if you can't match my energy, that's gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But if you can match my other side, introvert energy, that's even more crazy.
Yeah.
Really, you should be able to match both. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, definitely, because I think sometimes it can be uncomfortable if it's one extreme or the other. Because sometimes someone's too introverted, you can sometimes be a bit uncomfortable, a bit awkward in their presence because, like, you feel like, you know what I mean?
Can you be around?
I feel a little bit like okay, and then the other end when someone's super extroverted and outgoing and here I am whatnot. Sometimes you can get lost in that too. You get a little bit over cloud. You know what I mean? Where then you kind of just step away into the shadows.
So can you be in it? Have you experienced it before?
Me personally,
because you're both the two, but you're more of an extrovert. I would say you're more. If you had to pick the two, I believe you're more of an extrovert than an introvert.
Is it?
Yeah. In the world that you're in, an environment that you're in the shop, you have to be an extrovert. To me personally, you couldn't be a person that's introvert. Like couldn't
no,
be see.
Deal with,
Because you can see more beyond what the people can see in it. So you have to be out more going like, no, that looks good on you. No, oh my gosh, come in.
Alright, no, but then with time...
Or is it not?
With time, I feel like I've brought that down a bit and brought more of my introverted side, because sometimes it's draining. And sometimes there's certain things that I do want to say and certain things I want to... I'm just like, you know what?
Okay. So you just kind of minimize.
And I don't know if that's because since having River or having River with me or just me growing or changing, I don't know what it is. I can't necessarily pinpoint it. I've not thought that long and hard. But my energy in the shop when I'm there isn't as big and bold. Like, not that I'm not giving my best to my customers or what have you, but I'm not as... Because they can talk a lot. You know what?
So
to be fair, I think it probably is where I'm just like, I have River, so there's only so much energy I want to, because when she's ready to draw for my attention,
you give her the back. So yeah, that's only circumstances. But naturally, you would say you're an extrovert person then.
When I'm at work.
No, just in general. If you had to balance the two.
If I probably lean more to introverted. I probably lean more introverted. I think it's just situations and circumstances that the other side of me can come out.
So what can it work? Can it work in a relationship or not?
Well, what you're saying, we're very similar. So
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I might be wrong then. But I think if people see us, they say we're similar.
Oh, I know.
They're not gonna get me.
I know. No, I can't talk for you and I, because I think that.
Yeah, but someone that's in a relationship where one's introvert and one's extrovert, how would you?
Sometimes you can balance each other out. So sometimes one person's calming, nature, whatnot.
It's just about respecting that other person and what they are and what they're about, and understanding why they have to be like. Because some people have to be extrovert for a specific reason, like if they're a comedian or. But then most of the time, the comedians are introverts. They're literally only once they're on stage, they're cool. Once they come off, they're just
it's
in
like
there.
An alter ego.
Yeah. So and other things, other little places where you have to be a public eye or.
Look, you can't
perform or whatever.
When you're with someone, no matter how long you've been with them, they have had plenty of years prior to you of growing up in a certain family environment, moulding and shaping their personality and character and ways, school environment, the education system, work environment, previous relationships. There's so much things that add and take away to how someone is like today, the present day. So if that is how they are, you can help to, change certain bits here and there, but ultimately this is who you have in front of you. You know what I mean? So there's no point in, comparison is the enemy of joy. So I think too often people want to compare, my ex weren't like that, he's too loud. If this person is loud and what have you, and that doesn't fit in, we spoke about this before, and that doesn't fit into your lifestyle or your desire for a partner, then be honest. But don't try and change this person 360 degrees to fit how you think that they should be.
Because it's just a destruction.
They're gonna be unhappy.
That's gonna be a destruction. If I said I take this channel, if I can't be creative and be my free person I am, then it's gonna be it'll be a matters. And if she can't be who she, it's gonna be so it's important that we understand that and understand that from the beginning, because it can be a bit mad and not forget. Sometimes we might get complacent and forget, but it's not about forgetting that. It's about
look. I'm grateful that I have someone that complements most of my ways and life. Not everything. There's still certain things that we both still need to work on and what have you. But ultimately, we get along. Ultimately, when you go into your little zone or whatever,
don't know what she's talking about, people.
I
don't know what she's talking about.
To not take it as a, because there's sometimes where I just feel like you're being a bit anti. But I explained to her the other day, literally 10% of what was on my head in the whole week. She's like it made sense. Above all, knowing that I know she's going through things in life as well, so it's not normal. But I'm saying this one little 10% is
bugging me, and I'll come to her. But sometimes I'm just reviewing things in my head. Sometimes I don't need to tell her everything. Sometimes I'll try and tell her as much as I can because some things make sense. But it's like sometimes I'm trying to make sense out of my own sense. You get me? Like it's mad. So,
but you know what? It's that sharing, and it's bringing someone into your
yeah. I get it. But sometimes you just don't know. Remember, I can do a story. Sometimes you be sitting there for 2 hours, like, and I'm talking the whole story.
But then there's times where I say to you, like, I feel a bit disconnected from you. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that ultimately what it is as well is having that respectful dialogue and conversation and being open about it in the sense of like, this is actually how I'm feeling right now. Like, I don't really feel very much loved by you. Like, it's not that I'm saying you don't love me. I just don't feel loved by you. Like at this present moment in time and what have you. And then it's, I guess, trusting and knowing that the other person is going to do their best within whatever's in their capacity to try and change that trajectory. I think it's when people don't talk and they don't open up, they become more and more closed off, they become more and more disconnected, and other things start to fester and creep in, and you start thinking of 101 things about what could be going on.
That's when it gets peaked.
And all the rest of it, and it could have just been not necessarily squashed, but helped with actually having that conversation.
Just done his head. Just turned around and said, someone's looking at me. What's looking at me? Just done it, just staring in my face and that. You get me?
But yeah, so I think it's about being respectful and actually just having open dialogue.
Calm. Yeah. All right. So we end on this.
Don't feel silly about it neither.
Yeah, 100%. We end on this one. There's quite a few more that we haven't got. So sorry, people that have sent in, but we'll do. I will ensure to add it on to the next pod or something. This one's quite deep, so we might have to actually do our own show on it. I'm sorry if we don't give it the space of time that it should do, but we'll try our best. Toxic in-laws. How do you deal with an in-law that literally doesn't make your life easy? How do you deal with an in-law that literally doesn't make your life easy? Sister-in-law, mother-in-law, etc. Have you ever been in a situation?
Like I've had issues with previous in-laws or mother-in-laws.
Why? Do you know where it stemmed from or how it came about? Or can you just, because you can't just bait. Sorry for baiting up the man.
A couple in-laws.
Go on, are you that? My done it there, my done. No, joking. Nah, joking, go on.
Yeah. Let's say, alright, I'm not going to say name, I'm literally about to spare a name. But let's just say, like, my first, like, Belinda. Proper long-term relationship, the father of my two eldest daughters, he's an only child, and he grew up most of his life with his mum. Not to say that he didn't know his dad, but, you know, his mum was his main carer. And the, what do you call it? Not the purse strings, the
umbilical cord.
No, like
we didn't cut the umbilical cord. They didn't know how to cut.
No, not quite like that. But yeah, an only child and a boy to a mum.
Matters.
Yeah.
Did you know early? Did you know from early or later on? At the start, it don't go like that. They usually stay. They wheel you in nicely.
No. At the start, it went left. When she first met me, boy, she kicked me out the house.
Is it?
Yeah.
What, you're not meant to be in there?
I don't know. I didn't know any different. But she was renting like rooms out of someone else's house. This is like northwest side, so I'm south. And I must have just visited there, like one day. I was just sitting in like very pokey, tiny bedrooms. The only place to sit is on the bed, single bed. So I'm just literally just sitting there. And obviously I can hear like noise downstairs. Obviously she must have come home or what have you. And she came upstairs, looked at me on the bed, and then just started cussing.
Like that? One time?
Just like that.
It's the first time you met her?
First time I met her.
Blows out skirts.
So I was like, okay. So I just took it as, I don't know, like maybe he was in trouble or what. I don't know.
Yeah. You know, no one's there.
So like, I just went downstairs and what have you. Bear in mind, we're like, trying to think how old, 18, 19.
So big enough, old enough, but yeah, them times they don't matter anyway.
Like, so, but like, it was literally...
But did he get cussing or you got the cussing?
I think it was both, but I didn't understand what the cussing was about.
Oh.
What I gathered later on is that he not long had a girlfriend not long before me.
Okay,
so I think there weren't a long... I don't know if I was even his girlfriend at that time, but nonetheless, which is kind of good, but she just dealt with me a bit wrong, innit? Because I was none the wiser. But in a sense of she must have not known that he no longer had this girlfriend. So then for her to see me... That came out later though? Yeah. Okay. So then for her to come in the house and then see me there, she's like... Mad. Like, yeah, well, you know what I mean? We're at Obviously, we did end up having we were together practically 9.5, 10 years. Yeah. So, hey. So how did that go from So then there? Obviously, when we actually did start having a relationship and dating and whatnot, as time went on, I think like maybe... I'd see her here, see her there, and it was calm. She was fine, like, but just okay. You know what I mean? Like, I still felt like she didn't really particularly like me.
Is that you or is that you?
No, I think me. I think me.
No, that is mine. Sometimes
it could be. I'm not gonna say it's gospel. I'm not gonna swear like by it. Like, she didn't say to me, "I don't like you." It's just how I felt. I just felt.
Did you express it to your other half at the time? Because it must have swept in. Because that's what happens sometimes. It sweeps in like, yeah, you're not telling my mum no love and that.
I'd expressed that I felt that she was a bit too overbearing. Yeah, she was a bit overbearing. But it's her only child, you know. Who am I to come and...
By that time, you ain't thinking that.
No, of course not. I'm just like trying to have a little something with your son, innit? And what have you. Then obviously got pregnant and whatnot. Then the dynamics changed a little bit, innit? Because but you got no choice. So obviously, so then by this time now, she's more involved in my family. So like her and my mum, her and my auntie. You know,
okay, they started connecting. Okay.
I'm a family orientated person. So if you're going to be with me in a relationship, then that's kind of you're gonna be involved with stuff. So naturally, I'm gonna say, invite your mum down to whatever's going on, or what, you know what I mean, that kind of stuff. He didn't really have family like that as such, so it would always be on my side. Excuse me. But yeah, so I think more being pregnant and having a child. Yeah, I think it just brought out. We started getting close for a period, but it was volatile, like in a sense of, so like infidelity crept in, yeah, and this is like after years down the line, and I'd be talking to her about, she'd be like, "Oh, where is he?" I'd be like, "I ain't his keeper. I don't know where he is," kind of thing. But you know, don't worry, you know, he'll be home, and that. And there are times where I didn't really have anyone I could really speak to, and I chose her because I thought that she could have a positive influence over him and his behaviours and stuff. And she was just kind of like sweeping things away, like it didn't matter, it weren't that important, or you know, don't. Even though you still went back to her all the time. Yeah, because I saw it as like we generally became close at one stage. You know what I mean? This is after like having 2 kids, and I generally saw her. You know what I mean? I didn't call her mum as such. So that's a bit deep then. If you didn't call her mum, then what was that then? Well, I didn't call her by her name. So what did you call her then? So when you done a card, you say mum. Yeah. Exactly. So that it's a mad one though. Yeah. I always, no matter what, I always will. No one loses their title. Like they always get that title. Even if I feel like I'm being disrespected, I'll still give that title. I'll still address you as uncle. I'll still address you as mum. Yeah, I'm never gonna call you by your first name. You get me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll still like. But some people I know lost titles over the years. How did you end up dealing with that? Well, my whole thing was, it came to a head where, you know what I mean, I did catch him in certain things, certain behaviours and what have you, and things kicked off very bad. And I was talking to her about certain things, and she was just very flippant and blasé with me about it. Yeah. Like trying to normalize it in essence, like to say, oh, don't worry in it, like as long as he's coming home to you, that kind of mindset. And I was like, bun that, come home to who? I'll kick him down like at that front door. Like, no, I said, look, if I was your daughter, like your daughter coming to you about my partner and not your son, you know, like I'm your actual daughter, would that be the same advice you'd be giving me? She couldn't answer. The only reason why you're saying what you're saying to me is because I'm talking about your son. So really and truly, you're probably not the best person for me to speak to because you're biased.
Yeah.
And I understand that you want to keep your family together. You know what I mean? But at cost of what? Because I'm going a bit crazy here, and things could go left. So, and after that, I just kind of, I mean, still respectful and what have you, but I just stopped reaching out to her and just dealt with things.
So what, with someone that's dealing with, especially in a relationship that's gone quite far in that, I think I've had previous where my mother-in-law cut up all my clothes, like she folded them all neatly. And it's, I can't even go into the whole situation, but it was peak. But it was no fault of our own. But it was a vindictive move where we got thrown out and everything. She packed my clothes all neatly in there, but when I unfolded them, she chopped them all up. I'm talking like everything, the whole gun.
That's psycho behaviour, you know.
Yeah, but well, you know what? And then also, the father-in-law, we always had a back and forth. There was always something with, even with like the brothers, whatever way it is, innit? And I think what it is, there'll be a time in it, and I think this is why you always got to keep this love thing going on, and be respectful and keep that. But there'll be a time when they will, the tables will turn, and it could be later on down the line, it could be the next day, it could be anything. But just leave it, and just be respectful, especially if you're in a relationship where and this is where it's important, where the couple understand that. Like, it's no point me defending my mum, because there's many times I've tried to defend my mum about certain things, and I shouldn't have done that. There's times I should defend her, and sometimes I shouldn't. But there's sometimes it's blatantly disrespect. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's about sometimes when you get that information, like if you tell me something about my mum, for instance, and that, I've got to take it on board, innit? I can't be just literally like, you tried this mum. That's the first thing we do. But I cut my umbilical cord long time, so I know what my mum's about. I know what my dad's about. I know all my parents, like my kids, my siblings. I know what they're about, innit? So I've learned too many lessons. It's the first thing we got to do. Don't be defensive about it. You got to be,
call it for what it is. Wrong is wrong and right is right, no matter where it's coming from.
100%. But we can't help it. Sometimes we can't help it because our defense mechanism is just like that, normal. But
because you're seeing it as though you're attacking like me, innit?
But what you realise after the time, see, some of our parents are just broken. Like, broken. We look at them and we think, you're not the one that used to broke us up back in the days and chase us around the house and do the most and that. When you grow, you start to realise certain things and understand certain things. Because you become an adult
yourself. Right. So there's certain things that you can actually analyse and observe.
Yeah, we're not right out. We're not right. My day. Back in the days, I couldn't listen to what you could tell me something, and I'm not gonna ride out and break faces in that. I'll break, like, you could tell me something now. Back in the days, like cousins going through issues or problems, or people going through problems, I'm coming around to break faces. That's it, standardly. Like, I don't even have to. You don't have to ask questions. Yeah. But now I'm more like, hold on, what? Because I'm thinking of, if I go and do something, it just go left, right.
A ripple effect.
I ain't got time for that. That's what's always happened back in the days. You go there to do one thing, it turns into a next thing. I ain't looking to that. Like, what's happened? Did you call the police? Like, you hear me?
Tell me the whole picture.
Break it down.
Before it got to that point.
What time? You get me? Let me go have my breakfast. I'll call you back. You get me? You know, like that. Sometimes I don't even take on them issues. After 12 o'clock, I take on them issues. But, you know what it is? If you, this is why you got to date with intention. Like, you got to date with, if you're not, don't get caught up. Don't get caught up in the family issues. Don't be going around the mum's yard and all these kind of things if you're not going for the long haul. And I've learned how it is now, innit? And mothers-in-laws will always do something that will challenge your mindset. Do not fall for it. It's not that. You're right. Do not know what you're doing in your household. Stay strong in that. Whatever they want to do, that's their business. Do not get caught up in it. Be respectful and keep it moving. And that's what I keep doing, innit? There's certain time, sometimes your mum will say certain things and I'll be like, eh? But I don't take it on board like that because I know deep down it's all love, innit? It's blatantly, like that's how it is. But mum would always try and, is she trying to? No, she ain't. You don't know. But you know what it is? Long as this, look, when they see this union, or whatever union, I can't remember who asked the question, but whatever union you're in, as long as that foundation is strong, no one can. They're always gonna try something. I'm not gonna lie. Everybody's gonna try something, and it'll come from the least people, the worst people. Least, and usually mother-in-laws, dads, anything. They will say certain things, and you're thinking, why did you do that?
Yeah, and sometimes it's not even about you. Sometimes it could just be something about themselves.
Yeah,
that is coming out in a wrong way. Look, there's times with some friends back in the day where they would fall out with their man or fall out with a fellow friend, and I'll be riding out for them doing the most, and then they make back up again, and I'm just there like feeling all awkward and whatnot, and I'm thinking like, I can't even look at these people the same way, like, because I was doing the most for like that particular friend. Where I was like, nah.
No, look, just date with more intention if you're gonna do all that, but don't get caught up with it. Listen, don't take it on board. I think some of us also with power as well. We got secret power. But that's all down to our mindsets telling us the worst things sometimes, because our mind will do that. Naturally, it risks a situation and it give you the worst scenario first. So don't feel no bad about it. You could be just going to do a simple thing just to go and, for instance, me just naturally going on stage. The first thing I'm thinking, my head will tell me, I'll be honest, no one's going to like you. No one's going to appreciate you. You're going to flop. That's what your head does, you know. But it's just assessing the situation. It's giving you all the negative outcomes, but throughout that will come the positive. And that's what we got to look at. That much as the mother-in-law might be moving mad, or sister-in-law, or anything like that, just show love. As long as you keep respectful and show love, that's all that is. And sometimes people go in like they're going too hard sometimes. They're going too hard, like I've got to impress. You don't have to do that. Stop doing the most, like most time. People do the most, like do that, and then when you get stabbed in your back now, yeah, you stabbed in the back, you're mad. Keep your thing strong with whatever you got, partners. If you can help out, I'll help mum if I can help mum. I never say no to mum. I never said no. I don't think I ever said no to your mum. I'll never say no to mum. I'll never say no to mama. Like I'll do what I can do in the capacity I can do it. But and like your sisters, everything. Like, you get what I'm saying?
I think ultimately, if a in-law is behaving in a way that is disrespectful or offensive or making you feel uncomfortable and what have you, then you take that up with your partner, and for them to deal with it, for them to speak with them, for them to
have a conversation about it, then you can know what to do, navigate.
Even if mediation is needed, then whatever is required. But if
it's gone really wrong, like it's gone properly, like where it's at that point. See, like where
it's hard being with someone and you're not like we've got
christenings and all these other things.
You've got someone that's got married and they weren't inviting all their husband to be's family to the wedding, and it's like, how does that one work? Like, is he okay with that? Can you imagine?
It would hurt.
That's starting things off on the wrong foot.
Yeah. So what would you suggest them?
What, if I was getting married?
Dig deeper and then just try and do something, because sometimes you don't want them toxic. But remember what she said: toxic in-laws. Like sometimes if they're so toxic, you don't want to do. You don't want them anyway.
Deal with them day to day,
but they might have children. It's going to be a big.
They're your family. They're a byproduct, innit, of what your relationship you've decided to be in. That is what comes with it. You can't just say, "Oh, I want to be with you," but don't want to have nothing to do with your family.
It don't work that way. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. No, 100%.
But it's up to your partner to help with that.
Navigate that through.
Yeah.
No, 100. And if he ain't doing that or she ain't doing that, there is an issue there that has to be addressed.
Yeah, it has to be
addressed. If they're trying to avoid it and say, but it's my mum, man. No, it doesn't work that way.
That's just the way she is.
You get me? Yeah. It's not just always. I do that sometimes as well, but like we have a deep conversation. Because I will tell Shan about situations that I've been through or what's happened to try and put that into perspective. because sometimes we don't know what we grew up with or what she grew up with or whatever. But then if you have that little bit of understanding, you understand why they behave that certain way or why they do what they do. But don't fall into the trap. Draw the line. Have a boundary. Boundaries is important in any circumstances. It could be mother-in-law, whatever.
I think that's the key.
With your own family, you have to draw boundaries. Like, you know that you got that crackhead uncle. You can't be round. Like, you get me. You know that crackhead sister. You know that you got. No, she can't. You know how it goes. But now, yeah, it's been a good episode. I think we got things to do now anyway, people, and
thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, tuning in episode 13 and that. What's to look out for? Anything to look out for? Yeah, we've got the Friday Fizz coming at the end of the month. We've got interviews coming. We've got the dilemma that we're going to be doing. Smart talks. And you know what? If you've got anything, topics that you want us to kind of talk about, discuss, DM us.
I think this was a good idea with the little mini.
Yeah, just break things down a little bit. DM. If you want us to elaborate on things a bit more, then feel free. If you want to come on the show, DM us, or email us, whatever way it is. The details are in the bio or whatever. You must be able to find us. Just Google us, Max and Shan. I swear you can Google us now, Max and Shan now. I swear down. You get me?
But even if you can't, subscribe.
Subscribe, like, and don't dislike, innit? Download the MySpace, everything cool and correct, no regrets. Put it on, make it to life and the more I sing. Inside!
Brockwide!
Don't say that, babe. Don't do that. Do you want to say something? Thank you.